children, it's Mrs. Lee here. It's assembly number 3 and it's week 2. And most of us are here at school, but some of us are at home. So a big wave to anybody who is at home. Right, it's routine time. So what's the time, Mr. Wolf? And we look to the minute hand, the long hand. It's on the 9. And I know that means, yes, that's right, 1:45. And I need to know what hour we're getting close to. In 15 minutes, what will the hour be? Well, we need to look to the hour hand. That's the shorthand. And it's nearly on the 1. So it must be 1:45. In 15 minutes' time, it will be 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock at night. 1 o'clock in the day. Probably coming back from our lunch. Had some lunch now, maybe we're playing around or maybe we're sitting down doing some learning. Okay, what else have we got on our board? Oh, we're still in the month of March and we're learning Romanian. And we know how to say hello in Romanian. It's bună ziua. And do you remember yesterday we were looking at our sign, our Makaton sign, which is poetry. And we read some poems, didn't we? I wonder if any of you have had a chance to go and look at our poetry display. Did you enjoy them? Ah, super work, that's great. Okay, maybe you'd like to even write your own poem. Oh gosh, do you know there's lots of poets in the world and they're not just all men. No, lots of poets are females as well. Because girls, can you write poetry? Of course you can. Do you remember though? Do you remember a couple of weeks ago I talked to you about Women's International Day and I said a long time ago women were allowed to do the same things as boys. Is that a good thing or not a good thing? It's not a good thing, is it? And we actually talked about a lady called Jane Austen. She wrote books, but she didn't say that they were by her. She pretended that they were by other people, men, so that she could get them sold because people didn't think it was okay for a woman to write a book. Okay or not okay? That's right. Now, that's not just about being an author in English that was off limits to girls. Also, science was off limits to girls. Is that a good thing or not a good thing? Yes, you're right. Now, in the month of March, you might see lots of people walking around with a daffodil on them. And it's a fake daffodil, they just wear it on their lapel. And that is to celebrate a day called Marie Curie Day. Now, today I want to talk to you about a scientist called Marie Curie. Now, we've talked about Marie Curie before. I've shared with you in my Rebel Girls book a picture of her, and I've told you about her. I'm going to show you a picture of her. Now, she lived over 100 years ago. That's what she actually looked like in real life. There's not very many photographs of her. All right. Now, Marie Curie was a scientist, and she did something absolutely amazing, and I'd love to share that with you now. Marie Curie helped to change the lives of lots of people all over the world, and she sort of opened the door for girls to become scientists, because in 100 years ago, it was frowned upon for girls to be scientists. Now, Marie Curie, as I said, was born in Poland, but when she wanted to go to university to find out more and learn more, she wasn't allowed to. So her parents sent her to a place called Paris, which is in France, where she went to school. When she was there, she got married, and she married a man called Pierre, and they worked together and they lived together, and they were really fascinated by looking at science. They were looking at elements that gave off rays of light and heat, and they decided to call this element radium. They studied the light and the heat that it gave off, and they called this radioactivity. And they were given the most important prize, the Nobel Prize. And Marie Curie was the first woman to ever win this. Well, sadly, Pierre died, and Marie Curie took over his job in a university, and she carried on studying, and she carried on working hard and doing science experiments and not giving up, being like, that's right, perseverance parrot. And a few years later, she won another Nobel Prize, and they actually built her a laboratory. Now, Marie Curie was working hard to find a cure for cancer. All right, but however, she was working with something called radium, which is very, very dangerous. And unfortunately, Marie got very poorly because she was working with the radium and she died. But she inspired others to continue her work. And over time, people have realized that radium can help people all over the world who are poorly. Wow. Well done, Marie Curie. Isn't that amazing? There's some facts here as well. I really love this fact. During World War I, she helped to put X-ray machines in ambulances, and this helped the doctors to be able to see where the bullets were inside the soldiers. That's good, isn't it? Wow, Marie Curie. I'm so glad that she persevered for us, and that she experimented, that she tried hard and didn't give up. Now, maybe if you're out and about and you see some of those daffodils being sold as little brooches, little badges, you might want to buy one. And all the money that you put into the box when you buy one goes to all the cancer research, and it will help other people who are poorly. Mrs. Lee's going to show you some pictures now of Marie Curie, all right, and some of the things that she was working with. I hope that you enjoy them, and I will see you in 3, 2, 1. She worked hard, didn't she? All right, there's not very many photographs of her, but it's good to have a little look at them, isn't it? Children, we're going to finish now with our school prayer, okay? Help me to do the things I should, to be to others kind and good, in all my work and all my play, to grow more loving every day. Amen. Okay, children, bye. Have a lovely, lovely evening, and I will see you in one sleep's time.